Pip dropped acorns on Eli's head, one after another, until the boy finally stirred beneath the old oak. She'd never done this before. Squirrels don't wake sleeping children. But something in the gray sky pressed against her instincts, something she couldn't ignore. Eli groaned, rubbing his forehead, annoyed at first. Then he noticed how dark the woods had gotten, how the wind had shifted, carrying the metallic smell of an incoming storm. Pip chattered from the branch above, sharp and insistent, refusing to stop even as he sat up. Why would a wild animal risk this much, just to wake one sleeping boy? Eli had wandered farther than he meant to. He'd followed a trail of blue jay feathers past the creek, past the fence line his grandfather always warned him about, until the familiar oak tree came into view. He knew this tree. He'd been feeding the same russet squirrel peanuts from his porch for 2 summers, watching her scamper closer each visit until she'd eat from his open palm. He called her Pip because she squeaked twice before every bite. Back home, his grandfather Walt paced the porch, phone in hand, while old Max whined at the door, nose pressed to the screen, sensing something wrong long before anyone said it aloud. The dog's ears twitched toward the tree line. He knew the boy's scent, and it was drifting the wrong way. Eli tried to stand and winced. His ankle had twisted wrong when he slid down the creek bank, and now it throbbed with every shift of weight. The sky had turned the color of wet slate, and the first drops of rain tapped against the leaves above him. Then he heard it. A low rustle in the brush that didn't match the wind. Pip stopped grooming mid-motion, went rigid, and let out a call Eli had never heard from her before, sharp and rhythmic, nothing like her usual chatter. Through the gray curtain of rain, something lean and low moved along the tree line, pausing every few steps to test the air. A coyote, ribs faintly visible beneath a rain-slicked coat, locked its eyes on the boy who couldn't run. Pip exploded into motion above him, tail snapping, refusing to let the silence settle over the clearing. The coyote crept closer, belly low, the patient half-circle of something that had done this before. Eli pressed his back against the oak, ankle screaming, and went still the way his grandfather once taught him. Don't run from what you can't outrun. Pip's chattering turned violent, almost unhinged, and she flung herself onto a branch just above the coyote's head. Eli didn't know that last winter, this same pack had torn through her nest 11 feet from this very spot, taking 2 of her litter while she screamed from a branch too high to help. She hadn't been fast enough then. She had learned since. Now she hurled pine cones down at the coyote's flank, one after another, breaking its focus each time it crept a step nearer, buying seconds she had no guarantee would matter. The coyote snapped at the air toward her, distracted, circling wider, unsure now which target was worth the risk. Walt found the first clue near the creek, a torn scrap of Eli's jacket caught on a blackberry bramble. Max lunged forward on the leash, nose low, dragging the older man faster than his knees liked. Rain soaked through both their coats as thunder rolled somewhere behind the ridge. Then came the sound neither of them expected, a squirrel's alarm call, high and relentless, pulsing in a rhythm too deliberate to be random panic. Max's head snapped toward it instantly, ears locking onto the pattern like a compass needle. Walt hesitated only a second before following his dog's instinct over his own uncertainty. They crashed through wet underbrush, Max barking now, loud enough to announce their approach long before they reached the clearing. The coyote's head turned toward the noise, weighed its odds, and slipped back into the tree line, just as the old oak came into view. And beneath it, small and shivering against the trunk, sat his grandson. Max reached Eli first, pressing his graying muzzle against the boy's soaked jacket, tail low, but wagging in relieved, uneven sweeps. Walt knelt and gathered him up, murmuring something about never scaring him like that again, his voice cracking on the last word. Above them, Pip perched on a low branch, feathers of rain sliding off her fur, watching the reunion without approaching closer. Walt carried Eli home through the thinning rain, while Max trotted close at his side, and neither of them noticed the squirrel following in short bursts from tree to tree until the porch light came into view. The next morning, Eli set out a handful of peanuts at the base of the oak, ankle-wrapped, leaning on his grandfather's arm. Pip took them one at a time, squeaking twice before every bite, the same as always. Some bonds are built slowly, through nothing more than small kindnesses repeated often enough, that something wild decides you're worth protecting.